do you believe that your character, your personality is cut out for the goal that you have set in place for yourself? Because if you've been taking all the right steps, right? You've been taking all the right actions, you're doing it day after day, you're so consistent, you're not missing a beat, yet for some strange reason, it seems as though nothing's moving. You have to reassess yourself. It has nothing to do with the actions that you've been taking day after day. Like, you're doing all the right things and you've already found your rhythm. You've established the routine. Like, that's awesome. Like, you're already ahead of most people in that sense, right? Because that is one of the biggest hurdles for most people, is establishing routine and cultivating very strong habits and not being thrown off your habits regardless of how you feel. So that's awesome. Like, you have that discipline in line. But now the question is, do you actually believe that you are worthy of attaining these goals and experiencing what these like burning desires have to offer? That's what I realized within myself. And it took me years to really understand this. Taking action is only one portion, one aspect of, this formula to success. You know what I'm saying? But most people are just so bought into this, hustle culture, especially, you see everything online right now, especially North American culture, bro. Like, you already know how it goes. We celebrate one another for working 40, 50, 60-hour weeks or even 80-hour weeks, right? And then you see entrepreneurs too, like, they compete over who has their Google Calendar filled with the most appointments. Bro, I don't want the most appointments. Like, that's great. Like, if you have a calendar that's filled with so many appointments, that usually means, okay, like, you getting paid, right? But what's getting paid if you ain't got time? Like, you don't have time, you know? Had me really thinking about that for a minute. And I'm like really now realizing that taking like relentless action is vital. Like, it's important, but it's not everything. And that's what they don't teach us. That's what they don't put enough emphasis on, And when I say they, them, I'm talking about, social media in general. You know what I'm saying? So don't think for a second that, you're not on the right path and that it's not going to happen for you, because it will. You just need to reassess where you're putting your energy into. If, again, like I said, if you're taking all the right steps and you have been, and you're very disciplined and shit isn't happening for you, you need to reassess how you perceive yourself. Do you perceive yourself as somebody who is worthy of experiencing what it is that you desire? Because I can almost guarantee that if you're taking all the right actions and shit isn't moving, the perception that you have of yourself doesn't meet your goal. You have the subconscious belief that this goal exceeds you and your level of consciousness, your level of being. Okay? So you need to change the concept that you have of yourself. And this is what they don't teach us. They teach us just work. Work, 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 work. And it's like, yes, work is important. And when I say work, I'm talking about external work, like going to a job or, putting in work on your business, doing outreach, whatever it is, right? But there's also internal work, okay? Which is just as, if not more, important. So now you need to put in that internal work, okay? You need to change the way that you see yourself. And this can be something that might come off as, like a tedious process because, like I said, y'all, I've been on this self-development journey for quite some time. I've fiddled with so many different routines and practices, and I'm the type of person that I haven't had much of a problem with, cultivating routines and being disciplined, like waking up early, eating healthy, working out. Like that has always been very like natural for me, hasn't been very hard. And it was always funny to me because I'm out here, like I said, taking all the right actions. Let me see. I'm out here taking all the right actions and shit wasn't moving. So I'm like, okay, something is wrong. Like there's something off here, right? And that's when I figured it out. I was putting the goal on a pedestal. I was putting the goal above myself, subconsciously on the deepest level within myself. I viewed the goal as though it was bigger than me. And it has taken a lot of time to reprogram my mind to see myself as someone who is worthy of living a life that I believe that I deserve. But anybody can do it. It's just a lot of repetition. And it's almost so simple to do that if I told you what to do, you wouldn't even believe me, because it's literally that simple, but it just requires a lot of consistency and repetition, right? But do you believe that reprogramming your mind is what the difference will be? Because I'm telling you right now, I've experienced this at firsthand. That's all that it is. You have to reprogram your mind. You have to reprogram your belief system as far as what it is that is possible in this reality. But I'll tell y'all right now, the first thing that you need to do is establish a very thorough morning routine and a very thorough night routine. So as soon as you wake up in the morning, when your mind is fresh and you're still just waking up, that is the perfect time to reprogram your mind, okay? But an even better time is right before you sleep, because that's what they call the gateway to the subconscious mind, right? Because you're going in and out of consciousness. Like you're awake and then you're asleep. So what you are thinking about and processing during that time when you are asleep is so valuable, right? So if you can be very persistent with what it is that you do in the morning and what it is that you do right before that you sleep, it's money time. It's so much easier than you think. It really is. But again, this is your sign to lock in, but not in the way that you might expect. Because if you're like me, you're someone who's been taking relentless action for so long, and you're already so disciplined, with the external work. But now when we talk about the internal work, where do your habits lie? Are they non-existent? Because mine, for the longest time, were. They weren't even there. What is it that Albert Einstein said? He said, the definition of insanity is to do the same things over and over and over again and expect a different result. If you're doing all the external work and shit isn't moving, you need to try something different. And that doesn't mean drop your business or, you know, if you're working on something that you're super passionate about, keep it going. You know what I'm saying? But do the internal work and see how it goes, right? Like you don't need to just completely drop it. You just need to tweak your systems and find your rhythm with other effective methods. And I'm telling y'all, the internal work is the key. So if someone were to ask me, what do I do first thing in the morning and first thing or last thing before I go to bed, right? Most powerful thing that you can do is reprogram your mind and tell yourself who it is that you are today. And what up? You got some niggas. I can't emphasize this enough, y'all. It's about entering the feeling state of already being that person. And I know like this may not be new information to you. You may have already heard this before, because it's one thing to hear something, but it's a completely other thing to understand something and apply it, right? Because if you hear something, but you don't actually believe that that's going to be the difference, you're not going to take consistent action, right? Like that's just what it is. So my best piece of advice to you, man, put in the work to change the way that you see yourself. Because you've already done all the heavy lifting in this physical reality, but now it's time to do the internal work and just watch as shit just starts to shift. It is so magical, and you start to understand on like the deepest level that this reality isn't actually real, and you can actually bend it with your mind. Just remember, our thoughts create our beliefs and our beliefs dictate our actions. Do you believe that you're the person that is worthy and capable of attaining the goals that you've set in place for yourself? Ask yourself this question on the deepest level, meditate on it, and come clean with yourself. Because it was very uncomfortable for me to face the fact that I viewed my goals as though they were bigger than me. It was hard. It was very uncomfortable. For a moment, I felt like a little ashamed, you know? I felt bad, but I dropped that so quickly and put that energy of, feeling bad or feeling ashamed into reprogramming myself. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I'm in Thailand right now. This is one of my favorite places on the planet for so many different reasons. Insane food. Of course, everything's cheap, like as it's known for, but this weather and the people, and it's just a different life. I always thought about coming down here, and now I'm here. And it's not as hard as you think, man. You're more than capable. You just have to believe that you are. Cultivating a new belief system takes time. It takes effort. But if right now you think and you believe in your mind that the only thing that's going to get you to your goals is by grinding every single day, grinding, you're so misled and you're very wrong. And I'm telling y'all, I've wasted so many years thinking and believing that that's what it was, and that's what I was somehow lacking. I wasn't taking the right steps. But that wasn't the answer. Once I detached from this external reality, this physical world, and went internally, reassessed, and analyzed how it is that I view myself and what I actually at that time believed to be possible, there was a lot of work that had to be done. But I was so caught up and so busy with the physical aspect of it, I completely neglected the most important aspect of this process, my belief system. So now when I tell y'all it's your time to lock in, it is time to lock in on changing the way that you see yourself, changing what you believe is possible, because you are capable. I am capable, and I was able to do, nigga. Sorry, that was a little fly. Oh shit, I was just I am capable, and I've proved that to myself, and I'm going to continue to prove it to myself. I'm going to continue putting in this internal work along with the external work. But don't think for a second that blood, sweat, and tears and grinding is the only aspect of you attaining your goals. Okay? Lock in, man. It's your time. I love y'all. I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Much love. Sending you so much positive energy. It's KT. Catch y'all in the next one.